actually take a full meal. That's mad. That is. That's new, innit? Just put my notes. He said, "Can you give him?"
Yeah. I can't claim it.
I just told you. Just put my notes. All right, Shalom. This is the Wednesday law class. Also, remember, check out Commanding General YAHANNA's radio show, which is what? Monday, 2 a.m. Also, we got classes, what? There's classes in the state, Tuesday through Friday. So on the Tuesday, you got what? The Brotherhood class. Wednesday, the law class. Thursday, the scripture breakdown class. Friday, the Lashon Kodash. That's in the States. That is midnight, our time, UK time. Then we have classes here. Monday, the history class. Wednesday, the law class. Thursday, the scripture breakdown class. Get in all them classes, man. Come in them classes and learn. But today, we're going into what? The earth's given into the hand of the wicked, man. Everyone's seen that what? Boris Johnson's been made the prime minister, and he's trying to pass all these outrageous laws, talking about what? He's going to stop that half sentence stuff. Because over here in the UK, if you commit a crime and you get what? Anything under 10 years or whatever, you get 14 years, 15 years, you do half of that. He said he's going to stop that, man, which means you're going to be doing the full sentence. Over here, black men get what? 14 years for selling drugs. Whereas now you would do 7 years, you'd do half of that. He said he's going to change it to where what? You're going to do the full sentence. And all these laws is passing is going to affect us, man. It's ethnic. He ain't thinking about white people when he's passing these laws. He's thinking about us when he's passing these laws. Also, when he says what? He's going to put 20,000 more police officers on the streets. Who's that for? That's for us, man. Them 20,000 more police officers on the streets. He also said what? He's going to make available 10,000 more prison spaces. So all these things which is passing is for us, man. And we got the articles. So I'm going to get a ton of them articles throughout the class, man. And I'm going to show you that the white man's the devil and everything he's doing is to oppress us, is to ruin our life, man. And that's what white people do, man. They come together and sit down and they have all these meetings behind closed doors that you wouldn't even know about. They have all these meetings that you wouldn't even know about, man.
That's right.
What you think? You think you see Boris Johnson making these laws and whatnot? Nah, there's higher up white people making these behind the scenes, man. Thinking about how they can trap you, thinking about what they're gonna make the next craze, thinking about what's the next drugs they're gonna put out there, what's the next way they're gonna entice you to go to jail, man. What's the next way they're gonna make you to do this, and what's the next way they're gonna make you do that, man? All these things is like a domino effect, man. They put one thing in place, and then it leads to another thing. So what Boris Johnson wants to do is make available more prison places, and he's also putting more police in the streets, which means what? You're more likely to go jail now because there's more police to pull you over, more police to catch you doing whatever you shouldn't be doing. And then he said that he's going to stop half in the sentences, man, which means you get 14 years, you're doing the full 14 years. What does that mean? That means there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You saying, yeah, man, I'll just be doing, I got 10 years, I'm only doing 5. Nah, man, you're going to be doing the full 10. And this is why they're doing it, man, because they know that's going to affect our people, because they give our people the biggest amount of years. And then Boris Johnson saying, no, man, we need to make them do all of it. And then guess what happens? These extra police on the streets, they need to pay them. So in order for them to pay the extra police is putting on the streets, there needs to be they need to arrest criminals. I don't know if you know, but police have targets, man. Police have targets like if you get this much arrests, you get a bonus. Go ahead, sir.
If a kind of there's a book you can buy. It's called Behind the Uniform, and it's a police officer that she left the force. She talks about police racism and the deadlines. They got to do 5 stop and searches every week, along with 5 arrests every week. So it's mandatory for a police officer to meet that deadline. That's just fact.
See, it's mandatory for them to meet that deadline, and they know, you know what? If we go to the ghettos, chances are they say that 3 in every 5 carry a knife. So really, they know they could get 5 in one day if they wanted, man. And they do that to get these bonuses. These white police officers get paychecks off of locking you up, man. They get paychecks and bonuses off of you carrying a knife. They get bonuses off of taking you off the street, man. And then they're putting 10,000 police prison places. We're gonna get the article soon anyway. 10,000 more places in jail, which means what? That opened the door for there to be more prison guards and so forth, which means more prison guards is getting put in a job. You're doing more community service, more probation officers is getting paid, more solicitors they need, more barristers they need, more prosecutors they need, more police officers they need, more police stations they need, more police officers they need. So in order for them to roll out 20,000 more police officers, means what? There has to be more of that means what? They have to arrest more criminals in order for them to keep getting paid, in order for them to keep getting the funding. All this crime that we do on the street, it shows white people what? Yeah, man, the police do need funding. It shows the police that it shows white people, oh yeah, we do need this funding. So all this criminal activity, all the work you do in jail, all that money just goes back around, to pump it into the police force. All that drug money you had, all that 100 grand, 200 grand that the police just seized off you, that goes what? The claim it goes into the community. It don't come into our communities.
That's right.
It don't come into our communities. White men take that money, man, and they do whatever. You wouldn't know what to do with it. And then you see that nice watch you got, that nice car, them nice clothes. The program came on the TV the other day about police auctions. Did you watch it?
I seen it.
Yeah, so all these things that you spend loads of money on, they throw you in jail and they sell them at auctions. And the things that you had to sell drugs to buy, these white kids buy them from the auction for dirt cheap, man. That watch that you sold all them drugs to buy and spent 25, 30 grand on it. A white boy's probably picking it up from the auction for 5 grand, man. He's picking it up for 5 grand, man. And that's what they do. If I could give me a Romans chapter 12 and verse 2.
All right, the book of Romans 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world.
It says, be not conformed to this world, man. What's this world? This society, man. This white man's world, man. Be not conformed to it. Go ahead.
But be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, man. By you being conformed to this world is what? You want in everything you see in this world, man. You see the white man's lifestyle, you want in that lifestyle. You believe in this all English dream to try and sell you, man. You trying to get in on this all English dream, man. You trying to do all of that. That's you being conformed to this world. You celebrating LGBT and saying everybody's got the right to choose abortion. Everyone's got this her body. She can do what she wants. That's you being conformed to this world. What you got to realize is the white man runs this world, man. He runs this world, and he hates you, man. So he ain't gonna make it easy for you in this world. He runs this world, man, and you mustn't be conformed to his world. This is the white man's world. I mean, let them have their LGBT communities, man. Let them have them, man. Let the white man have his gay pride and his gay parade. Let them have it, man. But you just don't take no part in it, man. Be not conformed to this world. Let white people do what white people are going to do, because this is their world, man. The earth's been given to them for a time, man. and they're ruling it horribly, man. And you ain't meant to be conformed to this world. Let the white man be whatever he wants to be, and let him do whatever he wants to do. But we can't do what he wants to do. We can't be like him, because the Lord made us to serve him, man. We have a power that we must serve. Whereas the white man's the devil, he can do anything he wants, man. Because God ain't with him. And it's not a requirement for him to do what we have to do, man. God requires us to serve him. And the white man, he wasn't never told that, man.
That's right.
But from there, give me 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Because love in this world, it won't get you nowhere, man. Just death and destruction and jail and everywhere else where you don't need to be.
1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
See, it says, love not the world, man, neither the things which is in the world. And this is talking about the white man's society and everything which they make out is what you must have and so forth, man. It says, love not the world, neither the things in the world, man. Go ahead.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
And if any man love the world, loves these drugs, this LGBT, this disgusting lifestyle, interracial marriaging, if you love those things, the love of the Father is not in you, man. You know why? Because God hates those things, man.
That's right.
God hates those worldly things. And the white man, he's worldly, man. Let him be worldly. It's his nature to be worldly, but it's not yours, man. This is his world and he's running his world, how he's gonna run it. You ain't supposed to love the way he's running it and feel like you're part of Great Britain. Feel like you've got some place here. Feel like you hold a special place in the white man's heart. You don't, man. Listen, our grandmas thought they held a special place in the white man's heart, man. Until that charter flight came, until they claimed they lost the documents and everyone on the Windrush is going back home. That's when they realized they don't hold a special place in the white man's heart. Listen, it took them 50, 60 years to realize that, man. That the white man's the devil. Listen, we could have told them, man, don't get too comfortable because this man, he changes his mind every 5 minutes. 1 minute he can say, yeah, you can stay. 1 minute he's telling you can go. Go ahead.
Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes.
Says, all that is in the world is the lust of the flesh, man. Meaning what? Worldly things and things that you lust over. You wanting to go to the strip club and making it rain and pouring champagne over naked women and all of those things. That's what the white man promotes, man. That's what the white man promotes. Go. Black women should what? Be whores, be strippers, have sex with who you want. That's what he promotes, man. The white man would tell, listen, some devil at my slavery, some woman was saying to some young sister just yesterday, the sister must have said, oh, she split up with her man because he cheated on her. I said to her, look, man, he was a good man, right? She said, yeah, she was with him she was in what, year 8? I said, look, so you're gonna ruin all that, man. I said, look, man, it's in a man's nature for him to want more than one woman. And guess what this devil said to her? She goes, you know what? Just cheat back. Honestly, just cheat back, and you should go on dates with other men and just don't tell him. I looked, I said, listen, don't take advice from her. And that's the white man for you, man. The white man will tell you these things, man. Do all this, do all that. The white man would tell you to sin against God, man. And then guess what happens? When the shit hits the fan, that devil's not there no more, man. That devil sneaked off into the background somewhere, telling her, oh, go cheat on your man. Listen, that's what this world promotes. This world promotes what? If he's got another woman, go get you another man. That's what this world teaches, man.
That's right.
That's what the white man teaches. Teaches that they also white people downplay black culture, man. Our culture, they look at our culture like shame on you. They look at what we do as like shame on you. Like you can't, like you tell someone, yeah, I'm an Israelite and the white man's the devil and it's against God to interracial marriage. They look at you like shame on you. You're so small-minded. They make out like what they make out like what you're not entitled to your own beliefs. They make it like you're not entitled to your. Listen, when the white man says, "Oh, I'm Catholic and I pray to Mary," we let them do it, man. We don't say shame on you. We just say, okay, do whatever. As soon as a man says, yeah, this is my beliefs, that a black man shouldn't interracial marriage, that a black man is better than white people and Chinese people and Arabs. When we say that, we're racist and it's shame on us, man. That's what they say. Oh, shame on you, man. You small-minded. That's what they say to us, man. Like a black man just can't have his culture and his beliefs. Like a black man's beliefs is what in this society it's like it's irrelevant, man. They don't care what you believe. It's just null and void, whatever you believe. This is how it works. A Arab man can go to a slave and say, "Oh, I need to wear this man dress and keep on my kufi because this is my religion." A Christian can go and say, "Oh, I need to keep on this cross because this is my religion." A Muslim man can go and say, "Oh, I don't need to shave my beard, it's my religion." When a black man says, "Yo, I can't shave my beard, it's my belief, man, it's my religion," they're quick to try and make you shave it, man. They're quick to try and peer pressure, saying, "No, because you know if you don't shave it, you can't get no shifts." They don't tell the Arab man that though, but they tell black people that.
That's right.
They don't tell the Arab man, "Listen, if you don't shave your beard, you can't get no shifts." But listen, when you go for a job and they say, "Oh, you must be clean shaven and neat." Have you seen it where it says you must be neat and tidy and clean shaven? They ain't thinking about the Arab man when they say that. They're more worried about black men and black women. They're more worried about a black man having a beard and a sister having hairstyles. Listen, in school they don't let black kids have certain hairstyles, man. But then an Arab can come in there with his kufi on, looking like he's ready to blow the whole place up, man, and no one bothers him. But as soon as we do something, they want to bother us, man. And this is why, because this is the white man's world, and he does whatever he pleases, man. And he just wants to oppress us and make it 10 times harder for us, man. That's his job to be a devil, man. That's his job. Go ahead.
The lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
But the what?
But is of the world.
But is of the world, man. Read that again from the.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father.
Listen, man, the pride of life is not of the Father, man. And you being a sinner and loving the white man's world and trying to be what, the next prime minister, thinking what you're gonna change the country from the inside. I'm gonna change the country from the inside. You thinking what, you're gonna be a police officer and I'm gonna change the police force from the inside, because if I become a police officer, they might think, if I become a police officer, they might see, "Oh, I'm black and I'm a good person," and they might just, stop stereotyping. Listen, no, man, they're gonna keep stereotyping, man. Go ahead.
Is not of the Father, but of the world, and the world passeth away.
And what?
And the world passeth away.
And the world passeth away, man. Meaning what? All this stuff you're seeing right here, all this American dream and English dream is gonna pass away, man.
That's right.
All this stuff is gonna pass away, man. The Buckingham Palace, the white man ruling, all of that is gonna pass away, man. The white man being in charge, Boris Johnson making all these decrees, making all these speeches, all of this stuff is gonna pass away, man. You thinking you're gonna be a great rapper and pouring champagne all over women's behind in the strip club, all of that's gonna pass away, man. There's a time coming when you can't do none of that. Go ahead, you say something.
And the lust thereof.
And the lust thereof, man. Exactly, man. Your loss. Listen, man. The time's coming when all that's gonna pass away. None of that's gonna be taking place, man. This white man's way of living, it's gonna pass away. You ain't gonna be doing none of that, man. When our kingdom's established, there's gonna be no strip clubs. There's gonna be no women in a thong dancing on a pole, man. There's gonna be none of that, man. There's gonna be no LGBT march. There's gonna be no gay pride. There's gonna be no gay pride, man. There's gonna be none of that. All of that is gonna pass away, man. Once Christ returns, all of that is done with, man. That's done with. That's gone. That's gonna be no more, man. So there's no point you trying to fight for those things and loving those things, because those things is gonna pass away, man. And if serving God, guess what's going to happen? You're going to pass away right along with it, man. You're going to die right along with all of that, man. You're going to die with the LGBT community, man. You're going to die. You're going to die in the white man's army and whatnot. Go ahead.
I got 2 questions online as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can get them.
I got one from first Gary Thompson. Shalom, another one. How can I respond to a woman who asks, why can men have multiple wives, but the women can't? Because
God said the man can have multiple wives.
That's right.
That's why you take it in the Bible and you say God said a man can have multiple wives, and a woman can't have multiple husbands. It doesn't work like that. A woman is meant to have one man. A woman is meant to have one man, and a man is allowed as much women as he wants. Israelite women, women of his nation. That's what you say to her. And even nature and society teaches you that a woman shouldn't have more than one man. The thing is this: women get pregnant, man. If a woman's sleeping around with more than one man, what happens? They end up on the Maury Show, man. They end up on the Maury Show and Jeremy Kyle and so forth. And it's natural for a woman to only desire and want one man, but God said a man can have more than one woman. God said, go ahead.
I've got the book of Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
So this is talking about birth and pain. Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, meaning in pain. That childbirth is pain. Us women, listen, when a woman's giving birth, just hold her hand and you'll be like, damn, I didn't know this woman had that kind of strength. Exactly. Your hand will be spraying for like a month. Go ahead.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy what?
Thy desire shall be to thy husband.
No, thy desire shall be to thy husbands, or is it plural? Is it husband?
Husband.
This is what I'm saying, man. Thy desire shall be to thy husband. So that woman is meant to love you, man. And she's only meant to love you, man. Because she's your woman, man. She's your woman. You're her husband. She's only allowed one. She's only allowed you. She's not allowed no next man. Once she's opened their legs to you, that's your wife. And them legs should only open to you, man. You see like how you go to a hotel and you put the key card on the door and it only opens with that key card. Your woman's legs only should open with your key card, man, because it's your woman, man.
Right.
And a woman can't have more than one man. Go ahead.
And he shall rule over.
And he shall what?
Rule over.
And he shall rule over thee, man. It's your woman and you rule over her. Meaning you tell her this. You ain't dressing like that, man. You go back in the house. You tell her this. You ain't staying out all night doing that, man. You ain't going to the bar with your whole friends, man. I know them girls over there are hoes that you're asking me, can you go to the bar with? You're telling her, nah, you're staying in the house, man. I don't want you around them, man. And then takes me right back to the white man. What does the white man say? Oh, your partner's controlling. Your partner's controlling. Listen, man, that's not controlling. That's love, man. Listen, if you love something, you guard over it, man. Listen, a man don't just what? A brand new car and leave the key in the engine. Why don't he leave the key in the engine? Because it's his car and he loves it, man. And he don't want someone to take it. So this is why you rule over your woman, because you love your woman and you don't want someone to take it, man. And you don't want her to open her legs to no one else. But the white man teaches what? Oh, they're so controlling. If your man don't let you go do this, they're so controlling. Listen, man, we love our women, man. And God said we're meant to rule over our women. And it tells you, man, where there's no hedge, the possession's spoiled. It tells you that in the Apocrypha, man. What's a hedge? Something that it's like a gate or a fence around something. And you need to put a gate or a fence around your woman, man, because she's yours. Go ahead, you got something else? Go ahead.
Well, it's a lot to read. Even in Isaiah 5, the Lord talked about he put a hedge over us, he protected us.
Exactly. The Lord didn't want us worshipping all these other gods. Just him, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah 5:4. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? So the Lord's not like what he done for us, how much he protected us.
Exactly. The Lord takes care of us, protects us, man. The Lord, listen, the same way we've got one God and we meant to serve God only, is the same way your woman is, you're meant to be her one Lord, man. You're a lord over her, meaning what? You rule over her, man. That's how it's supposed to be, man. You're her ruler. Give me the order in 1 Corinthians 11. And then after, give me the other one. Give me the one else. You can't serve two masters.
Okay, yeah. 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the what?
The woman is the man.
Says the head of the woman is the man. What does the head mean? That means what? He's over her, man. He rules over her, man. The head of the woman is the man. Now, the God ain't the author of confusion, man. Imagine a woman that's got 5-6 different heads, man. 5-6 people telling her 5-6 different things. Beg you get me the next one where it says that you can't serve two masters.
Like Matthew 12.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you one more.
Like Matthew 6.
No, sir.
Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters.
Now, Yahushua is talking about basically no man can serve two masters, meaning what? You can't serve two things because obviously you're going to love one and hate the other. And this is saying, listen, a woman can learn a lot from this. A woman can't serve two masters, man. Listen, a man is the head of the woman. So if a woman believes she can have more than one man, what's going to happen? One man's going to tell her one thing, another's going to tell her another thing, man. She can't serve two masters. She can't have two men. She can't have two masters. Go ahead.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
And listen, man, if a woman's got two masters, she's going to hate the one and love the other, man. A woman can only have one man. And God made it that way, man. And God said a man can have multiple wives and a woman has one husband. A woman has one husband, man. A woman shouldn't be opening her legs to every man. And even they've done scientific studies and they say that what? Every man a woman sleeps with, a part of him stays with her, right?
That's right.
Say every man a woman opens her legs to, a part of him stays with her, man. So some of these women is walking around with what? 10 different men's DNA in them, man. 15 different men's DNA in them, man. Telling men it's his baby and it's not his baby. Listen, if God wanted a woman to have more than one man, she would be able to get pregnant for multiple men at one time, man. It don't work like that, man. A woman gets pregnant by one man, but because she's sleeping around and she's taught to be a whore in England and wherever they are, they have to do what? A DNA test, man. They have to do a DNA test to find out who the baby belongs to, which lets you know a woman should only be dealing with one man, to where she don't even need to have a DNA test because she's only dealing with one man. It's against God and it's a disgusting thing for a woman to sleep around. Give me that scripture. It says there should be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Is it 23 and 15? Deuteronomy, I believe it's 23 and 15. It's one of them. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, 23 and 17.
Or Deuteronomy 23:17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
There shall what?
Be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
Says there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, man. Says there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. And why is it saying that? Because the Lord's saying the white woman can be a whore, the Japanese woman can be a whore, the Arab woman can be a whore, but there shall be no whores of what?
The daughters of Israel.
Says there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel, man. Pull me up the definition of whore. Get me. The Lord said there shouldn't be no whores of the daughters of Israel. But that white woman on your job that's telling you to be a whore, say to her, God said, I can't be a whore, but God said, you can be a whore, man.
That's right.
That's what you say. Get me? Yeah, go ahead.
The definition of whore, a prostitute, a woman who worked as a prostitute.
Go ahead. I'm sure there's a next one which says a promiscuous woman.
That's it, yeah. A prostitute, a promiscuous woman.
A what?
A promiscuous woman.
A promiscuous woman is a what? A whore, man. And the Bible says what? There shall be no promiscuous women of the daughters of Israel, man.
That's right.
The Lord says there shall be no prostitutes of the daughters of Israel, man. And that's according to the definition of whore. So that's why. So that's why you can take a woman who asks why can't you have multiple husbands. You can just take her right there and just pull up the definition of a whore and say, look, the Lord said you can't be a whore, and then you can just close the book right there. I know if you want, and or you can just take it to a few more. Go ahead. Do we have
another question? I'm black, and I have spiritually married a white woman. We are both Jewish.
Hold on, he said what?
Unless it's a mistype word.
So lucky. So lucky. Can you type it in? Say that again. What did it?
I'm black, and I have spiritual married a white woman. We are both Jewish. And we all African.
You're gonna have to explain to me what you mean by you spiritually married a white woman. What does that mean? And you're both Jewish, and ain't we all African? And when you say you're black, where's your father from? Type in where your father's from. Just type that in. But in the meantime, pull me up. Go on YouTube and pull me up that video. It says just type in why a black child is 12 times as likely to become UK Prime Minister. All right, she said her father's from Jamaica. So listen, you ain't Jewish. You're a real Jew according to the Bible, man.
That's right.
According to the Bible, you're a real Jew, and you should be in here, man. You're not Jewish. Ish is a suffix meaning to be like or like. So if I say this top is bluish, that don't mean it's blue. It means it's kind of blue. Like the white friend that you claim that you're spiritually married, they're Jewish, but you're a real Jew. So you should tell them, listen, you can't be a part of them. You're not Jewish. You're a real Jew according to the Bible. If your father's a Benjamite, you're a Benjamite also.
I've got a precept for that.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 46:3. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of Israel, which are born by me
which are born by me, which means what? Which is carried by me by the belly, meaning what? From your in the womb. If your father is a Benjamite and he has sex with your mom, you're a Benjamite, man. You're gonna come out a Benjamite because the seed is in the man. So before you was what called Jamaican, you was called a Benjamite, man. You was called an Israelite, man. You was called an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Before the white man took our culture and gave us all these different names and so forth. But what do you mean by a spiritual marriage with a white woman? What does that mean? And yeah, what does that mean? Go ahead. Does are you trying to tell me that your teacher is a white woman that you learn from? A white woman, is that what you're saying? Go ahead.
Born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb.
Born by me from the belly, which are carried by the womb, and that's how you're an Israelite. You can't convert, man. You can't just wake up one day and convert. You have to be born one, man. And us, we born Israelites, man. If you're on that 12 tribe chart, you're a born Israelite, man.
No.
So lucky what?
My wife is a Jew.
So lucky, are you a woman? Diana Grant, are you a woman or are you a man using your woman's YouTube account? I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand something here. But, pull me up that video.
What's called why black people are 12 times.
Why black people are 12 times less likely to be UK Prime Minister. Just watch this video. This video will let you know the white man's. Listen, black man, you've been trying to go to Oxford your whole life to be prime minister, man. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why and why you never will be the prime minister, man. Yeah, that video at the top, this one there. Yeah. You're 12 times as likely. All right, just watch the video. I'm gonna let you watch the video for yourself. So lucky, I think it's a troll. This is on a man in a woman's body.
Yeah.
Good night. Give me a one if the sound.
Want to bring back?
Yeah. So lucky, someone online, give me a one if there's if the sound. Oh yeah. Adolphus last for what? So basically, this video right here is going to show you why black people are 12 times less likely to become prime minister. Because black people have been trying to become prime minister, thinking, you know, they're going to make it somewhere and thinking, I'm going to rule the country. And when I rule the country, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Listen, you're 12 times less likely. This is the white man telling you already that you're at a disadvantage, man. Basically, this is the white man telling you don't even try.
Right.
It's basically telling you don't even try because you're never going to get it. Go ahead. Pause that. See, he says, based on prime ministers, the best way to be prime minister is what? Based on prime ministers since 1950, the ideal path is to be white. To tell you to be prime minister, the first step to being a prime minister is what? Is to be white. That's the first step to being a prime minister, man. Because this, you know why it's to be white? Because this is the white man's world, man. And in our kingdom, for you to get any rank and anything special, you have to be black. You have to be an Israelite, man. So when we run the world, for anyone to get any big positions, you have to be an Israelite, man.
That's right.
So the same thing this white man's doing right here. Once his world passes away and ours comes, we're gonna do the same thing, man. You're gonna see a video like this saying, "Oh, in order for you to do such and such, you have to be an Israelite." You're gonna see the same thing, man. And then I don't want nobody to cry and say, "Oh, it's racist. This racist." I don't want no one to cry and say, "Oh, it's racist," because the white man's been being a racist the whole time, man, and no one says anything. You mean to tell me the best chance of you being a prime minister is you have to be white? That sounds pretty racist to me.
That's right.
That sounds racist to me. But as soon as we say anything we're wrong and we racist, this is racism right in front of your eyes, man. Listen, people say we all bleed red. We all the same. If we was all the same, when it comes to being a prime minister, color wouldn't mean nothing. But it does mean something, which lets you know the white man prefers his race, man. So what's wrong with me preferring my race? What's wrong with me saying, you know what? In our kingdom, in order for you to be a priest, you have to be one of us, man. You have to be an Israelite, man. Listen, I'm saying you have to be, in order for you to be a Jew, you have to be an Israelite, man. Listen, he's saying in order for you to be prime minister, you have to be white. Go ahead. says go to a private school. Pause. It says go to a private school, and you know they don't even let black kids step through the door at private school, man. Do you know how expensive private school is? Private school is expensive, man. And chances are, the jobs we work in, black people can't pay for their kids to go private school, man. Listen, black people can't even afford to make their kids pack lunches at school, man. We have to be school dinner. All the white kids, they got their nice little packed lunch with their what's the ones that you dip in the thing? With the dairy mozzarella sticks and so forth. The white man's got all that and their sandwiches and their drinks, while we have to queue up and have school dinners, man. We have to have school dinners because our parents are poor, man. So straight away, if that's you listen, you ain't getting nowhere. You ain't gonna be prime minister, man. I'm sorry to break it to you. Go ahead. And study at Oxford University, and you have to study at Oxford University, man. Listen, from your in school, these teachers make sure they write you off from the get-go so you don't even make it to uni, man. Most of us done fell out of school by 13, 14, man. Most of us done fell out of school. It says you have to study at Oxford University. And did you know, to get into Oxford, they look at the names of the people applying, and if it's a black sounding name, they turn down your application. I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know the reason you didn't get into Oxford is because they look at black sounding names, man. If your name's Craig or Tyrone, listen, do you think they're going to have a Tyrone in Oxford University? Do you think they're going to have a Craig in Oxford University? No, man. They're going to see your application and they're not going to accept it, man. Do you think they're going to have a prime minister that's called Tyrone or a Traquan? Listen, man, they're not going to have a Traquan in Oxford University. They're not going to have a Traquan that's the prime minister, man. They're not going to allow that because this is the white man's world and he runs it how he wants to run it, man. He turns down who he wants to turn down. He accepts who he wants to accept, and he don't want to accept you, man. And this is why you're never going to be prime minister, man. I'm sorry to break it to you. You ain't going to be prime minister, man. Go ahead. So it says, so what are your chances if you're a black child born in the UK today? Go ahead. Pause that and look. It says you're born in a poor household. So it says you're more likely to be playing catch up when you start school, which means what? By the time a black child starts school, you're already behind, man. By the time you start school, you're already behind everybody else, man. Already fallen behind. Go ahead. Pause that. It says the poorest kids' vocabulary can lag more than a year behind wealthy children at that age. Meaning what? You're already behind, man. And the teachers don't help you because it's a white man's world and they don't care about black children, man. And from a kid, it's set up for us to go to jail, man. From a kid, it's set up for they've set it up for us to be criminals, man. Because they say your vocabulary can lag more than a year behind, which means what? By the time you leave school, you got no education. And then the white man puts drugs in the neighborhood, which is a trap, man. And then you go and sell them drugs, and then you end up in jail. And this is why black people's the most in jail, man. Go ahead. Look how much books the white also. Pause that. Says only 4% of black students get the free as at A level get the free A's at A level needed for a top university. Only 4% of black people. That percentage is 4%. For only 4% of black people get free A levels to get to a top university. Go ahead, sir.
You know what's funny? I don't laugh at it, but you know how people, really do this. Really, only 4%.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of them fail to get something that ain't really gonna help.
Exactly. And then the unis that we do go is not top universities, because top universities is like what, Oxford and so forth. The universities that we end up going to, Aston University, what's the next one? BCU University, because it's set up for us to fail, man. So only 4% of black people get the free A's, man, to be able to go to a top university, man. Listen, black man, watching this, your whole life you thought you was a failure in school, man. Listen, you're not a failure. It's because the white man's the devil, man. That's what it is, man. The white man's the devil, man. And he set up this whole system for you to fail, man. He set up this whole system for you to fall behind. Before you even went to primary school, you was already behind, man. While you're in the lowest set at school, you're thinking, oh, black people are so dumb, man. It's only us which is in these low sets. Nah, man, it's not because you're dumb. It's because the white man set it up for you to fail, man. He set it up for you to fall behind, man. Go ahead. See, and it says that 10% of white pupils, man. Listen, that's a big percentage, man. That's a big percentage. 10% of them get all the A levels, man. Whereas 4% of us do. Go ahead. Go ahead. It says there's a similar thing in politics. It says there's just 13 black people in politics. Go ahead. So this is the 13 black. 13 out of 600. 13 out of 650, man. Out of 650 PMs. Out of 650 PMs, there's only 13 which is black. Go ahead.
That's the 4 that got the A levels.
Exactly. That must be the 4 that got the A levels. And there's other 600 and what? 637 or whatever. The other 637 ain't black. The white and a few's probably Asian, man. Go ahead. And it says if it reflected the UK population, the number should be double. Go ahead. Hold on. Oh, pause. That says the chances of a black child becoming prime minister is 1 in 17 million. 1 in 17 million, man. What's the London population again?
10 million.
The population in London is 10 million.
Alone, yeah.
So that's alone, man. Listen, out of all those people that you see walking around London, you ain't even got no chance of being prime minister, basically.
That's right.
It says 1 in 17 million. You listen, 1 in 17 million, man. That should let you know. Listen, man. That should let you know. Listen, man. You're never gonna be prime minister, man. 1 in 17 million. Go ahead. See, hold on. And it says for a white child, 1 in 1.4 million, which means they've got a chance, man. White people have a chance of being prime minister, but it's 1 in 17 million, and it's 1 in 1.4 million for them, man. Which means what? They've got a chance, man. Whereas you don't, man. 1 in 17 million. So all these black people thinking you're gonna make it and be prime minister, I'm sorry to tell you, man. You got 1 in 17 million. The white man's telling you, if you don't believe me, believe him, man. 1 in 17 million. Go ahead. And for a white child that goes to private school and graduates from Oxford, he's got 1 in 200,000 chance of becoming prime minister. 1 in 200,000, which makes their chances even better. Go ahead. So you see those nerdy white boys. Actually, then again, now you wouldn't have seen them because obviously you didn't go private school. You went to a school in the ghetto. You went to a school in the ghetto where the teachers couldn't be bothered to teach you, where the teachers couldn't care less about your education. The teachers just went there because they wanted to pick up their 19, 20 grand a year. That's the only reason them teachers is at the school. They couldn't care less about you. Go ahead.
If I can add, with them, they're angry because really they wanted to take that job to teach educated white people.
Right, exactly.
And they hated that they're in the ghetto trying to make you learn maths.
Exactly right.
Like, I never invested 10 years in uni to go and teach Rashid maths, you know what I mean? And
right.
That's what
Exactly, man. And this is why in school the teachers forever sending you out the classroom, man, because they don't care about your education. Go ahead. They leave you to your own devices. Go ahead. Says 90 times more likely than a black child born today, man. They've got they're 200,000 times, 90 times. Listen, 90 times more likely than you to become prime minister, man. Go ahead. Even if you went to all these private schools, that's it on that. Listen, man. This is the white man's world, man, and this is why we say to hell with him, man.
That's right.
Because he sets up things. He sets up all this for you to fail, man. But if I could give me Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10.
Ephesians.
Go ahead.
Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.
And this is what we should be striving for, man. To be strong in the Lord instead of trying to be strong in this white man's kingdom, which ain't getting us nowhere, man. You can't even be prime minister because the white man's the devil and he ain't gonna allow it, man. So why are you striving to fight for him, man? Be strong in the Lord. Be strong in God who wants you to be something great, man. Be strong in God who's given you the opportunity to be great, man. This white man don't give you the opportunity to be great, man. You think he can be great, but he don't give you the opportunity, and he ain't never done it, and he don't want to give you the opportunity, man. Go ahead.
Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might.
Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might, man. Listen, you didn't make it to Oxford University. Get in the I.S.U.P.K and become a Hebrew Academy graduate, man. You can graduate in here, man. You can come and serve God in here, man.
That's right.
Everything in here means way more than the white man's world, which is going to pass away. That white man's uni degree, that piece of paper where you don't really mean much if you ain't doing nothing for your people, man. You're just going to be like a black man that graduated 50 years ago. And where's he now? He's in the grave and done nothing for his people, man. Whereas you can come in here and make a stand, and what you do will help your people in the future, man. Come in here and do that, man. Go ahead.
Verse 11, put on the whole armor of God.
Put on the whole armor of God, man. You need to come in here and put on the whole armor, man. These laws, statutes. It's 12 now.
What was that? Verse in 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
For we what?
Wrestle not against flesh and blood.
So look, someone give me a one online if it's Tawab. Someone give me a one. Oh yeah, the brother said it's Tawab. Yeah, read that again from the top.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
So it says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, meaning what? You see that university teacher, that white man Boris Johnson. You're not wrestling against them. You think it's just them. You see. You think, oh yeah, these drugs is here for me to sell. You think, oh yeah, all I have to do is avoid the police. You think you're wrestling against flesh and blood? You're not, man. Go ahead.
Against principalities.
You're wrestling against principalities, man. Principalities is what means what a state ruled by a prince or something. Community. Put this drug in the community, and they will sell it, and then that way we will have enough black men in prison. Listen, man. There's people behind the scenes sitting down having meetings, man. Coming together of how they can destroy you. And the reason they can destroy you is because what? You ain't got on the whole armor of God, man. If you do put on that whole armor, they won't be able to harm you, man. So lucky we're still up on here. It's saying that it's gone down, you know. Yeah, it's still up. So lucky, give me a one if we still.
Oh, he said it's offering.
Give us 1 second. We're just trying to sort it out. Is it Is it Tawab? Someone online, let me know if it's Tawab. And this is the thing, man. I'm gonna pull it down to the white man messing up the internet, man, because he don't want us to bring this out, man. So I'm gonna pull it down to.
Yes, buffering. It's on, but just
Keep skipping.
yeah, the streams slow.
And this is the thing, man. If he was talking about Mickey Mouse, the internet would be fine, man. If he was talking about Mickey Mouse and whatnot, internet would be fine.
Want to restart the YouTube?
You think that will? Someone if let me know if you can hear me clearly online. Someone let me know if you can hear me clearly online. The feed seems to be messing up. Just let me know if you can hear me. For what I am Judah said the sound is good.
Yes.
Oh, it's too up. All right then, no sir. All right, for what there? All right then, yeah, we'll continue.
All right. In the middle of verse 12, against rulers of darkness.
Against rulers of darkness, man. This is what you're fighting against. You think, oh, listen, you think what? You see all these laws that Boris Johnson's trying to change and pass now. You think, oh, Boris Johnson came up with that and I'm just fighting against Boris Johnson. No, man. You're fighting against spiritual wickedness, against rulers of darkness in high places. The white man says, you know what? Yeah, all these black men stabbing each other to get in. We're giving them 12 years, but they're out in 6. Let's just give them the full 12 years and we can keep them locked away forever. Listen, man, that's what they're doing, man. While we think we're fighting against flesh and blood, while we think all we have to do is avoid the police and we're gonna get out. No, man, it don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. The spiritual wickedness in high places, all these high places, your high universities, and where the white man has his meetings and where the white man's Oxford and all these things. Listen, man, they have meetings about you, man. They have meetings how they can destroy us. They have meetings of like, you know what? We want this to be the next craze. We want that to be the next craze. And then what does the white man do? Gives it to people you look up to do it like rappers, for instance. Nowadays, what's it doing? Making all the rappers gay, man. Do you think these rappers just woke up one day and said, you know what, let's just be gay? And nah, man. The white man that rules over them says, you know what, I need you to make a gay song that's gonna have every nigga dancing, man. That's what he says, man. And then before you know it, every black man wants to be gay because this rapper's now being gay. Listen, man, you see the people that you look up to, your rappers like Jay-Z and whatnot, you think they're happy? You think they're living a happy life? You think Beyonce is living a happy life? When I see Beyonce, she looks stressed and upset from what I see. Don't you think she always looks upset? For someone that's so rich and so popular, all your celebrities look pretty upset to me. They look upset. Look at Kanye West, man. He looks pretty upset to me, dyeing his hair blonde and don't even want to crack a smile. Listen, he looks upset to me, man. You know why? Because all these things is going on behind the scenes that you don't know about, man. All these things is going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. You don't know what their contract states behind the scenes, man. You don't know what they're plotting behind the scenes. You just think you just see it as, you know what? I applied. I'm going to college. I'm gonna go uni. I'm gonna get into Oxford. I'm gonna be the next president. No, man. There's stuff up there to keep you from being prime minister. The white man's got stuff up there to stop black people from being rich, man. He's got stuff up there to stop black people. He put stuff out there to stop black people from coming together, man. Do you think we just woke up one day and All this black and just wanted to do this black and black crime. Nah, man. The white man's got all these systems in place, man. Says, you know what? Let's start this war. Let's start this postcode against that one, and we just gobble it up, man. All these stuff which is taking place behind the scenes, you wouldn't even know. They do studies on black people, man, to find out how we gonna operate to this and how we're gonna operate to that. They do all these things, man. Go ahead.
And against spiritual wickedness in high places.
And against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. All this spiritual wickedness in high places, man. You see these high places? These is high places where you can't go, where you can't get in, man. Listen, your whole life is what? You're born at a disadvantage. Listen, half of that right there is part of the white man's principalities and him keeping you down, man. That's what it is, man. All of that is the same thing. That thing we was reading is basically what we're showing you right here in the scripture. It's basically that, man.
That's right.
They set it up in their spiritual wickedness, and where they are in their high places, they set it up for you to fail, man. They set it up for you to go to jail, man. Go ahead. Like, you're fighting against tons of things that you don't see. You think you're fighting against bars. No, man. You're fighting against tons of things behind the scenes that you don't see. Go ahead.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God.
Listen, man. Take unto you the whole armor of God. Let this white man have his world, man. He can have it, man. Let him have his world, because guess what? His world's going to pass away, man. His Oxford University is not going to be there no more. His prime minister job's not going to be there no more. His army, his military, his police force is not going to be there no more, man. It's not going to be there no more. Go ahead.
That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, man. You have to take that whole armor, man. If you ain't got that whole armor, when that day comes, like these days is evil now. These evil days, most people's thinking, you know what? If I be in the truth, I can't sell drugs no more. Which means what? I can't keep up. I can't keep up this champagne lifestyle. I won't be able to keep my Mercedes. Let me just. Nah. I'm not. These are saying the Jews are like, yeah. I know it's true, but I need to move these packs. That's how we look at it, man. Listen, man. The white man sets up all of this like that for a reason, man. Go ahead. Get any more on that?
Yeah. And having done all to stand.
And having done all to stand. Go ahead.
Standing therefore, having your loins girt about with the truth.
Having your loins girt with the truth, man. Keep this truth close to your chest, man. Stay in this truth, man. Have your loins girded with truth, man. Go ahead.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness. You have to come in here, be in the truth, keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Go ahead.
And have your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
And listen, man. You stay in this truth, man. Go ahead.
Above all, taking the shield of faith.
Therefore, taking the shield of faith, man. Taking the shield of faith. What's faith? Faith means what? Something that you don't see, but you believe is. You get me? Have faith, man. Most people don't have faith, because if you did have faith, you wouldn't ever leave the truth, man. If you had faith, you'd stay right here, man. Go ahead.
Faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of wickedness.
And you should be able to quench all the fiery darts of wickedness. Everything the white man throws at you, man, you should be able to overcome it, man. Everything he throws at you, you should be able to overcome it and not fall for his trickery, and not fall for his drugs, and not fall for his lifestyle, and not give in to his way of life, and not being conformed to his world, man. From there, get me another article. Give me, type in 20,000 more. Type in Boris Johnson more employing more police. Now I'm gonna pull up another article, a Boris Johnson one. There should be. Is it?
That one's the Guardian.
Oh, no,
Independent.
Type in Boris Johnson 20,000 more police and it might come up. Yeah, type in Boris Johnson 20,000.
On the streets.
Yeah, it might be that one. Yeah. Does it come up? Yeah.
This
Yeah. There should be one where.
Boris.
Yeah, that one. And this is an article. Boris Johnson vows to put extra 20,000 more police on the streets. Now, what does that mean for you, black man? 20,000. The 20,000 more chance of you going to jail. That's what that means. Listen, you think Boris Johnson's. Everyone reads this and thinks, yeah, it sounds good. We need more police on our streets. We need more police on our streets. People read that and think it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good, but not for black people because he's putting these police on the streets to harm black people. What does this mean? This means what? 20,000 more chance of you being killed by the police. That's what this means because the police kill black people. So it all sounds nice and sweet. Yeah, more police in the streets will stop knife crime. He tells you that's what it is. But no, man. He wants more black people to go to jail. And this is why you need to put on the full armor of God, man.
That's right.
You need to put on the full armor of God, man. Go ahead.
Boris Johnson vows to put extra 20,000 obbies on the beat, more police on the streets to keep Brit safe. Boris Johnson.
So he said more police on the street to keep Brit safe. These police didn't keep Mark Duggan safe. They didn't keep Jermaine Baker safe. They didn't keep Rashawn safe. And he's putting 20,000 more police on the street, man. There was one article before where the armed police said, if we're going to get charged for shooting someone, we don't want to do the job. And guess what? The Prime Minister said to say, you know what? You are on your job and okay, then you won't get charged for shooting someone. Because these white, which means what? White men must have heard and said, you know what? I want to be, white men that hate black men must have said, you know what? I want to be an armed police officer, man. Because you're killing black men and you get away with, you're a racist anyway. You want to kill a black man and now you just do it with a police badge now and you get away with it. And you sleep at night while there's one family crying because you've shot their loved one to death. There's one family crying and mourning and have to set up a GoFundMe for the funeral because we're so poor as it is, and funerals is about 11, 12 grand. There's a white man that's gone home to his missus saying, oh, I shot a black man today. And he's happy. Like I keep saying, there's two sides to Great Britain, man. The white man side, where it's his nice heaven, and there's the black man side where it's just darkness and destruction and death and being murdered by the police and being imprisoned. Whereas there's the other side, trips to I.B.K. There's the white man side, trips to I.B.K, getting sunburned, coming back. All you have to worry about is your sunburn. You're in I.B.K rubbing sunscreen on your back. While black people's in jail, man. Black people's in jail, man, with no air conditioning. Meanwhile, white people are on the beach rubbing sunscreen on their back in their nice sunglasses. Listen, man, there's two sides to it. Go ahead.
Boris Johnson last night promised to tackle the surge in knife attacks.
And listen, he's putting 20,000 police on the streets to tackle the knife attacks, but he don't want to put more police on the street to tackle these Arabs, which is blowing up everything, man. Tackle these Arabs, which is doing all these suicide attacks, man. But he wants to put them on the street for black people. That's what this is basically saying. Go ahead.
And violent crime by recruiting an extra 20,000 police officers.
He's got an extra 20,000 police officers, man. Listen, I thought there was cutting police officers. I thought there was a recession, man. Where's he getting this money to put 20,000 police officers back on the streets, man? He's getting this money from the criminal activity that we do, man. Go ahead.
If he becomes prime minister.
And listen, he said that if he becomes prime minister, he's prime minister now. So guess what? You're going to have 20,000 police officers on the streets. Go ahead.
And you know what's funny? He's doing what kind of Donald Trump's doing, meaning you tell white people what they like to hear, they'll vote for you.
Exactly.
Because everyone hears about knife crime and thinks it's just black people, throw them away, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So lock them up, throw away the key.
Right, exactly.
And when you say that, you know naturally, you get in a white man's ear,
exactly.
Please. Yeah, you're like
exactly. And
that's what it is.
Exactly. And white people that's scared to listen, white people that's scared to walk the streets, they want these 20,000 police officers, man. Because they listen, there's a part in town, Dale End in town, man. It's full of young black kids, and white people is petrified to go there. They try to put a ban there to say that you can't stop there, you can only walk through. So the white man, he votes for these things, man. This is why Boris Johnson's probably in office right now, because white people saw this and they want their streets back, man. And they're tired of seeing you on the streets. Yeah, go ahead.
In a fresh policy announcement to step up his bid for number 10, the front runner of the Tory leadership, committed himself to increasing police funding by 1.1 billion. 1.1
billion, you know, that's funding for police. His increased police funding to 1.1 billion, not million, 1.1 billion, man. So you mean to tell me, yeah, we have to be in poverty? No, man. The white man's got 1.1 billion spare. The last thing said, most black people's in poverty. Listen, why don't he give us this 1.1 billion? Because the white man hates black people, man. He ain't gonna give you a penny, man. He ain't gonna give you a penny. I don't know if you know it, but the job that you do, the slavery that you all do, you're probably getting paid £8-9 an hour, but really you're doing like £80 work an hour, man. The work that you're doing accumulates to what, £80 work an hour, and you're getting paid £8-9 an hour, thinking it's good, man. You're doing 10 people's jobs with that one job that you're doing, and you're only getting paid £8-9 for it. I don't know if you know that. Because some people think, because I'm on £12, you're on £12 an hour. But listen, if the white man really showed you what he's making off you, you'd quit your job tomorrow, man. But he ain't going to show you what he's making off you. Go ahead, anyone that is that right? Go ahead, say something. Go ahead.
What's funny is, with a police officer, it's us that pay their wages.
Exactly.
So basically, he's using our money against us to lock us up.
Exactly. And then we pay the judges. You see all them fines you get in court. Did you know? In court, the judges have to send a certain amount of people to jail, man. That's how you keep a system running. Imagine if everyone got not guilty, jail would be empty, man. So this goes right back to what? That spiritual wickedness in high places, man. Rulers of darkness and principalities, man. They have a percentage of people that have to send to jail, a certain percentage of people to have to fine, because the judges get paid off these fines, man. And they know that we're going to be criminals, so they get paid off the back of us. They get paid off the back of us, man. We keep this whole system going round. We keep this whole system spinning, man. We keep whole world turning. Go ahead. Then the one that was that about it.
That would help to put more than 140,000 officers on the streets by 2022. And
they want all these officers on the streets by what, 2022?
That's right.
Which is almost in 2020. So 2 years, man. 2 years, and it's going to be swarming with police officers, man. Go ahead.
He also pledged extra police resources for the rural areas.
Also, police resources for the rural areas. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, but because a police officer got ran over the other day, and then another incident, a police officer got stabbed. Did you hear about it? White people were saying they need to arm our police officers. They said every police officer should be armed. What does that mean? You're going to get shot during a traffic stop, man. That's what that means. That means if you fail to put your hands up, you're going to get shot. If you run from the police, you're going to get shot, man. That's what it means, man. So soon they're going to try and arm all these police officers, because these officers are saying it's too dangerous for them to be out there without any weapons, which means what? They're going to use this as a way to shoot us now, man. They're going to use this as a way to do all that nonsense to us, man, to kill us, man. They're going to use that as a way. Even though they're killing us without guns out here by what? Shoving their fingers down our throat, man. Go ahead.
Boris Johnson said soaring crime levels are destroying lives across the country.
It says soaring crime levels is destroying lives across the country. Boris Johnson don't care about black lives, man. He's talking about white people's lives, man. He's talking about these what they call these moped thugs. He's robbing you rich white people, man. Who's going to white neighborhoods and robbing their bags and their watches. If you do that, if you rob a white person, you get more years in jail, man. That's the people that he's talking about. These moped gangs. That's what he's talking about, man. He ain't talking about black men stabbing black men in Brixton and Tottenham and Peckham and Handsworth and Aston. He ain't talking about that, man. He's just talking about what? Black people robbing white men's stuff, robbing their bags, their watches. That's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
We urgently need to tackle this to keep our streets safe and cut crime.
He said we urgently need to tackle this to keep our streets safe and cut crime. And the white man's solution is what? To keeping their streets safe is what? Getting rid of every black person from off their streets, man. That's how they think they're going to keep the streets safe. Go ahead.
We need to continue to give the police the tools they need, and crucially, we need to increase the physical presence.
And they need to increase the physical presence of the police, because they know when black people see police, even if you're not committing a crime, you get a little weary, man. When the policeman drives behind you, usually every black man drives one hand on the steering wheel, man. You see a police car behind you, start to put two hands on the steering wheel, and even if you're not doing no criminal activity, man, you kind of looking in your review thinking, oh, what do they want now, man? Police stop and search black people like remote. We're gonna get another article on that as well. Is there anyone on this or that? Give me Revelations chapter 13 and verse 11.
Revelations 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb.
He had two horns like a lamb, man. Meaning what? You see, why does it say a lamb? Because people look at a lamb like, oh yeah, a lamb's cute and so forth. That's this white man, man. People look at him like, oh yeah, he's cute. He's like a lamb. Is this? Is that? Go ahead.
And he spake as a dragon.
And he what?
Spake as a dragon.
And he spake as a dragon, man. Meaning what? He looked cute like a lamb. Meaning what? People look at Boris Johnson, oh yeah, this little blonde guy. Oh, he means no harm. He means no harm, but he spake like a dragon, man.
That's right.
Him saying he's putting 20,000 more police officers on the streets. That's him speaking as a dragon, man. Him saying he's stopping half in the sentences. That's him speaking as a dragon. Him saying he said black people have watermelon smiles, man. That's him speaking as a dragon, man. He says he spake as a dragon, and that's this white man. People look at him like, oh, he's so cute. I mean, listen, if me and a white boy was face to face and we was about to have a fist fight, I guarantee you, everyone would be saying I'm the aggressor and I started and I'm in the wrong. Not even knowing the situation, man. Because they look at this white boy like, oh, he's cute like a lamb. Oh, I just want to stroke him. I just want to rub his blonde hair. That's how people look at this white man. But he does what?
He spake as a dragon.
He spake as a dragon, man. The white man is the devil, man.
That's right.
He comes across like he means no harm, but he means all the harm in the world, man. Everything he does is just to harm black people. Give me Psalms 55 and 20. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Revelations 2 and 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt offer.
So it says, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer, man. You know why? Because living under this dumb white man, you're going to suffer some things, man. You're going to suffer some things under this devil. Go ahead.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
He shall what?
Cast some of you into prison.
Says he shall cast some of you into prison, man. And that's what Boris Johnson's trying to do right now. Cast some of you into prison, man. This is why he's bringing 20,000 extra police officers on the British streets, man. Because he wants to cast us into prison, man. Go ahead.
And that's how you know the white man's
the devil. Because it says the devil. Go ahead.
No Satan with horns cast no one into prison.
Yeah, exactly. No man with horns puts no one in prison, man. You know who does put people in prison? People like Boris Johnson trying to pass these laws and trying to change them. The judge and so forth. These are the people which is casting you into prison, man. Ain't no one with a pitchfork and a tail and horns ever put anybody in jail, man. No one with a pitchfork and horns ain't ever put nobody in jail. So don't be listening to these Christians which tell you, oh, the devil's red with a tail and pointy ears. No, man. The devil is Boris Johnson and people that look just like him, man.
That's right.
That's the ones casting you into jail, man. That's the ones putting 20,000 police officers on the street so you go to jail, man. Give me Psalms 55 and 21. 20.
Right, Psalms 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
And listen, man, you try and make peace with the white man, man. You say, oh, you know what? We're gonna vote Boris Johnson. We're gonna vote Theresa May. Black people voted for Theresa May, man, and the Windrush charter flights came straight away, man. You wanted peace with them. Go ahead.
He have broken his covenant.
He have what?
Broken his covenant.
He have broken his covenant, man. He have broken his covenant. The agreement the white man made with you, he's broke that, man. Go ahead.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Listen, man. Boris Johnson's words is smoother than butter. 20,000 police to stop crime, to cut crime, because we need to take our streets back and stop the criminal activity and blah, 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 blah. His words is smoother than butter, man. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But what?
War was in his heart.
But war was in his mind, man. Why he told you those nice, sweet words, while Boris Johnson's telling you, oh, we need more police on the street, in his mind, he's thinking, I want more black people in jail, man. That's what he's thinking in his mind. But his smooth words, he games you up, man. He games you up with his nice, smooth words. Them words is real sweet, man. Oh, we're going to stop halving sentences. That sounds good, right? Because, yeah, they're just criminals. Nah, man, he's just doing that because he hates black people, man, and war's in his mind. Type in Boris Johnson stopping half sentences. I'm gonna give you a next Boris Johnson article. And a brother online said, why ain't there I.S.U.P.K London? Anybody know? And the reason why is because the kingdom don't come with observation, man. If you're in London, you should get in the I.S.U.P.K, man, and help build the school, and then we can have a school in London, man. We'll have a school in London, Manchester, Leeds, Nottingham, because the kingdom don't come with observation. Like the school in the UK, there was one time Officer Parasha was saying, how come there's not a school in the UK? And guess what happened, man? He had to go out and build that school in the UK, man. And then now that school we're still building it now, and now there's brothers come in, and now we have classes. Go back a few years ago, there wasn't a UPK in the UK, man. But because we had to build it, and that's how you start a school, man. Someone has to. It's like building a house. It's like seeing some empty land and saying, why is there not a house there? You have to go build that house, man. So yeah, that's what it is. So give the school a call. If you're in London, give the school a call and get up in the school, man. Attend classes and so forth. Leave your attendance and whatnot. And the Lord allow, man. We can build a school in London. We got brothers in London already, man, and so forth. Go ahead. Yeah, just put the number. Yeah, it's just putting the officer's just putting the number in, so you just take the number down and give the school a call after class.
Yeah. Boris Johnson to stop criminals being bereaved after serving half their sentence.
Now, everybody knows in the UK, if you got 10 years in jail, you would do 5 years and then you would come out. You would come out after 5 years and you do the other half on license. Boris Johnson wants to stop black people being freed after what? People being freed after half their sentence. Meaning now, if you get 15 years, you're doing the full 15 years, man. There's no, I'll be out in 7.5. You get 15, you're doing 15 years. How ironic that now he wants to put more police in the street, that he wants to stop the half sentences, man. How's all this coming together all at around the same time, man? Because Boris Johnson knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing. Go ahead.
Boris Johnson has vowed to come down hard on crime as he announced an extension of police stop and search powers.
And he extended police stop and search powers, which means what? More police is going to be stopping and searching you, man. He says his extended police stop and search powers, which means that's more likely that you're going to go jail, more likely you're going to be stopped. Go ahead.
Powers and to offer sentences for violent criminals.
And tougher sentences for violent criminals. Listen, a white boy the other day killed another white boy called Yusuf or something. I can't remember his name. And guess what? He didn't go to jail. Guess why they said he didn't go to jail? Because he comes from a wealthy background. So what you mean to say? You're letting this man off because he comes from a wealthy black background. And if a black man does it, he goes jail, man. Why? Because he don't come from a wealthy background. Listen, man, the white man is the devil, and this is why you shouldn't be a criminal, man. This is why it's against God for us to be criminals, man. Because the white man's so unjust and doesn't know about fair justice. And the same, if we do the same crime as somebody else, we get the full sentence, whereas they don't. Go ahead.
The Prime Minister also wants to end automatic release of prisoners who have served half of their sentence.
And now he said he wants to end the automatic release of prisoners who have served half their sentence, which means you get 20 years, you're doing the full thing, man. You get 12 years, you're doing the full 12 years, man, which means you're just going to be in jail rotting away for 12 years, whereas before you could do half. Nah, man, not no more. They're cutting down, man, because they're seeing it as, you know what, these black people, they're getting freed too soon. They're seeing it as black people are getting freed too soon. Go ahead.
Mr. Johnson said he was determined to tackle rising levels of knife crime amid the impression of a growing culture of insolence among thugs.
Among who?
Among thugs.
Listen, they don't ever call white people thugs. So you know this is talking about black people, man. They see all black men as thugs. And when he says among thugs, it's talking about us. Listen, you could just replace the word thugs with niggers. Among niggers, that's what he's basically saying, man. Go ahead.
Who believe they can act with impunity.
I don't know what the hell that means. Go ahead.
Oh, it means read them like the other one, please.
Go ahead.
All right. At the same time, he said the government would be investing 2.5 billion in creating 10,000 new prison places.
Now I said they're gonna invest 2.5 billion in creating 10,000 new prison places. So you mean to say the country's poor, going through recession, they're gonna put the spending, was it 1.1 billion to bring more police in the streets?
Right.
And now 2.5 billion in creating 10,000 new prison places, which means what? They've got a place for you in prison, man. That's what that means. They're creating a place for you in prison right now. They've spoke about it behind the scenes and said, yeah, they're creating new prison places for you. Go ahead.
If I may as well.
Go ahead.
And what's funny is they got enough things to worry about. They've got a no deal
Brexit
for Brexit as well, and they're threatened. But They got all the time to spend money on locking up black people.
Yeah, exactly. 10,000 places. Listen, why don't he have 10,000 places for what for black people to do? You know, not go to jail, man. But why don't he give us? Listen, why don't he give us that 2.5 billion and then we won't go to jail, man? Because most black men is going to jail because they're poor and the white man sets traps for them. Why don't he give us that 2.5 billion so we can make sure every black man doesn't have to be poor and doesn't have to go jail, man? Go ahead. Was that it? On that? Was there any more?
Hold on. So the brother, Mr. Thompson, goes, enough love. I've been watching I.S.U.P.K for years.
Most High in Christ.
I don't feel understanding not just certain things. Still smoke weed. Man, still trying. I'm gonna call you guys soon, bless.
Yeah, man. Listen, just call this. Yeah, man. Just give the school a call and speak to brothers, man. And what any questions, you can type them in class or you can phone the correspondent phone and whatnot. But hit us up, man. That's what we're here for, man. We're here to fix brothers and so forth. So just give the school a call, man. Don't leave it too long. I suggest you call the school straight after class. I'll say you give the school a call straight after class, man, and so forth, and then come and get with the brothers and whatnot.
It's live.
No sweet. No, sir. You probably can drop the article. Just was there any more in there? I can't remember. No. Not really. Yeah. Give me Isaiah 42:22.
Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
This is us, man. A people robbed and spoiled. That's us, a people robbed and spoiled. Go ahead.
They are all of them snared in holes.
Snared in holes and traps. Go ahead.
They are hid in prison houses.
And listen, man, 10,000 more of us is about to be hid in prison houses, man. Before they would half the sentence, now they're not half in the sentence. We're about to be hid in prison houses. Listen, out of every race, we the most in jail, man. In England, we're the minority, but we're the majority in the jail. You go to jail, all wings is what? Black people on every wing, man. We're the majority in these jails, man. Why is that? Because they set these traps for us and snares and so forth. But if you could pull me up, actually give me Isaiah 10:1.
Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Listen, man, this is Boris Johnson, man. What he's doing to black people is an unrighteous decree, man. All these prison spaces, all these extra officers, cutting the half sentences, calling black people violent thugs, and so forth. A decree is what? It's like a law or order. And that's what he's passing, man. He's passing a law, man, and an order that, we're going to do this. We're going to have more police on the streets. That's his official decree, man. Go ahead.
And that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
Right, grievousness, man. Listen, the decree he's passing is grievous, man. It's severe, man. Listen, 10,000 more prison spaces. Crimes ain't been committed, but you want 10,000 more prison spaces. That sounds grievous to me, man. More police on the streets to kill black men. That sounds grievous to me, man. The word grievous means what? Severe. Listen, man. What white people is trying to do to us is severe, man. They're trying, listen, what they're doing to black people is so severe, man. Go ahead.
Verse 2, to turn aside the Edie from Judgment.
That's it on that.
If I can.
Go ahead.
On the rest of the article, it says to ensure serious and violent and sex offenders to get the sentence they deserve.
Listen, man. And everybody knows the biggest sex offenders is the white man.
That's right.
And he gets a slap on the wrist. The white man is the biggest sex offender, man. Rapes everybody, man. And these Arabs, and they get a slap on the wrist, man. So listen, really, yeah, he's targeting black people with all this, man. Type in the next one. Boris Johnson extends stop and search powers. I just want to quickly read I'm gonna get you another article. So lucky, I got so many articles today. Listen, I've been buying the newspaper. Like I've been buying the newspaper, so I've been reading the newspaper, and that's why I got so many articles. So lucky. And when I show you from the articles, at least you know it's just not my words. At least you know I ain't in my feelings. I ain't in my emotions. I ain't making it up.
The Independent.
Yeah, you can click on that if you want. Now I'm gonna show you another article. Boris Johnson extends stop and search.
Okay, this is from the Independent newspaper. Boris Johnson to extend stop and search powers in crime crackdown.
So stop and search is what? Where police have the right to stop you and search you. So if they look at you and suspect you, they have the right to stop and search you. Don't worry, I'm going to pull another article after this. Go ahead.
I want the criminals to be afraid, not the public, says Prime Minister.
What he's basically saying is black people's criminals. The public is white people. Because if everyone don't know Boris Johnson's a racist, then if you go look up the history of what conservatives, look up the history of the conservatives, there was racist. There was like if you want a nigger as your neighbor, vote for Labour.
Yeah.
There was like if you want a nigger as your neighbor, vote for Labour. That's what the Conservative Party said, because obviously conservatives don't want to live amongst black folks, so they said that.
Boris Johnson has vowed to come down hard on crime by extending police stop and search powers and to opening up prison sentences.
Listen, man, black people's prison sentences is tough enough already, man. Black people's prison sentence is tough enough already. And he says he's going to extend police stop and search powers, man. That's what he's talking about, more stop and search and so forth. And has vowed to come down hard by extending police stop and search. Now, pull me up the article, black people 40 times more likely to be stopped. Or pull me up, black people more likely to be stopped. This is another article.
Black people 8 times more.
No, the 41, that one.
Wasn't it?
That one, the number just sounds better. the number just sounds better.
All right. This is from the Guardian newspaper.
Listen, this is all newspapers that I'm pulling out. This ain't me making it up and whatnot. So Boris Johnson extends stop and search, right? So who's it gonna affect? Go ahead.
Black people 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched in the UK.
Black people 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched in the UK. Black people are 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched. What's that? That's racial profiling, man.
That's right.
The white man racial profiles us, and Boris Johnson has just extended stop and search, which means this 40 times more likely is going to turn to 80 times more likely. Black people is 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched. Now, Rashawn Charles was stopped and searched and ended up dying when they shoved their hand down his throat, man. which means what? Every stop and search can result in a black man dying. Once you know the white man's the devil, man. Go ahead.
Campaigners say the controversial new powers are doing untold damage to communities' trust.
And listen, people wonder why black people say F the police. This is why we say it, man. Because they harming us and racial profiling us. And we 40 times more likely to be stopped than any other race, man. Which means what? A white man could be having a knife and a gun, and police will never catch him because he's not stopped. Whereas we are 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched. Go ahead.
Black people in England and Wales are 40 times more likely than white people to be stopped and searched on their controversial powers.
And now I got stuck. Go ahead.
That Home Secretary Sajid Javid recently made it easier for officers to use.
And he made these stop and searches easier for officers to use. And what did these officers do with this power they've been given? Stop and search black people. Stop and search black people. Because they have targets, man, of how much criminals they have to take off the street, how much arrests they have to get. Because if they're not getting no arrests, they'll be out of a job. So obviously they need to get arrests and need to stop and search someone and find knives in them. Go ahead.
The analysis is based on Home Office internal data, which means Javid is likely to have known of the discrimination impact.
And he knew about this discrimination, man. He knew about this racial profiling. And this is why we say we don't give a damn about no other nation, only our own, man. Because they racial profile us and they discriminate against us. So it's only right we discriminate against them, man. Go ahead.
And that's heavy. So that means before we gave the police this new law,
exactly,
he knew it would affect the black community.
Exactly.
But he didn't care. This heathen, I mean,
exactly.
So he knew, well, whatever, like, just, who cares? Like.
Exactly. He's saying, who cares? We need to stop and search them anyway. He gave them the power because he wants them to stop us with ease and there to be no kickoffs and not us complaining to the CPS and whatnot. Go ahead.
Lightly known the discrimination impacts when he gave police greater powers last month.
Listen, man, he gave them greater powers, man. He gave them greater power than they had before. Go ahead.
To use Section 60 checks.
To use Section 60 checks, man. He gave them an excuse to stop and search you, man. Section 60 now, they can just pull out a Section 60, man, and do their checks. Go ahead.
The power allows officers to search anyone.
Listen, to search anyone. Really, they ain't searching anyone. They're just searching black people, man. They ain't searching anyone. They're just searching black people. And this is why we 40 times more likely to be searched by the police. Go ahead.
Anyone in a defined area for a limited period if serious violence is anticipated. So that don't make sense. So to anticipate don't mean it happens.
Exactly.
So if you feel like
exactly
happen, I have the right to search everyone.
Exactly. Listen, so if I'm just going to the shop and you see 3 black men, they believe they have the right to pull over their police car and stop and search you, man. Stop and search you. They ain't searching white people. They're only searching us, man. And the statistics is there that we're 40 times more likely to be stopped and searched. Is there anyone that is that about it?
No, that's it.
Give me 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8.
First Peter's 5 and 8.
Okay. So all that stop and search and extra police and extra prison spaces is for you, man. That's for you, man. And if you don't see how it's for you, the Lord be with you, man. Go ahead.
First Peter's 5 and 8. Be sober, Be vigilant.
Be what?
Be vigilant.
Be vigilant, man, because the white man is trying to devour us, man. He's trying to destroy us in so many ways. He's trying to destroy us with drugs. He's trying to destroy us with knife crime, prisons, all of these things. He's selling us an image, man. He sells us an image. Black men want to be gangsters and all of these things, man. All the spiritual wickedness in high places, man. They give you boys in the hood and don't be a menace. They give you boys in the hood and don't be a menace. And then what movies do they give themselves? The Addams Family, Spider-Man, and so forth. When we criminals, when they make a movie based off us being criminals, the movie is called Menace to Society. When the white man's a criminal, what do they call his movie? The Goodfellas. They done way more murdering in that film than in Menace to Society. So why are they Goodfellas and we Menace to Society? Because the white man is the devil, man. And that's why even names his titles, his film titles, Goodfellas. So okay, it's good to be a drug dealer, good to murder people, good to set up brothels. They call themselves Goodfellas, but when black people have movies where they shoot one another, what do they call black people's movies? A menace to society. They look at all of us like we menace to society, man. Boris Johnson looks at black people like we menaces and they need to get rid of us, man. They look at us like we are menace to this place. And this is why he wants us to put away in jail for longer, because he's sick of seeing black people's faces. And the more police that he gets to stop and search us, the more of us will go to jail. Because to him, we just a menace to society and he wants us away from his society, man. That's what he wants. Go ahead.
Be vigilant because your adversary, the devil.
Because you what?
Your adversary, the devil.
The devil, which is the white man, our adversary, man, our enemy, man. Go ahead.
As a roaring lion.
He goes around as a roaring lion, man. Go ahead.
Walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
He walks about seeking who he may devour, man. He walks around seeking who he may devour, man. And it's us that he's trying to devour. So we need to be sober and be vigilant, man. Let me get one more. Give me Isaiah 59 and verse 5. This is why we need to be sober and vigilant, man. You need to be aware of what's going on, man.
Isaiah 59 and 5. They hatch cockatrice eggs.
They what?
They hatch cockatrice eggs.
They hatch cockatrice eggs, man. What's cockatrice egg? What's the cockatrice? A snake, right?
That's right.
Cockatrice is a snake. And snake eggs is what? The baby of a snake. That's the white man, man. You see that little white baby you see? Listen, he's a devil as well, man. That's like a cockatrice egg, man. He's going to be a devil, man. Listen, you see that same police officer that's shooting you right now? One time there was a black person that once upon a time said, oh, that white baby's so cute. He don't mean no harm. Once upon a time, there was a black person that said that, man. Lo and behold, 25 years later, that so white baby that they thought was cute is killing the black baby, man. They hatch cockatrice eggs, man. They're snakes by nature, man. They're the devil by nature. Go ahead.
And weave the spider's web.
Weave the spider's web, meaning what? They set traps, man. What does a web do? People get caught and tangled in a web. The white man puts drugs in your community, man. That's him weaving the spider's web, man. Him putting all these drugs in your community, that's him weaving the spider's web. Him putting extra police on the street, that's him weaving the spider's web, man. All of this is a trap to get black people to what? Fill up them extra 10,000 prison spaces, man. He's weaving the spider's web. Go ahead.
He that eateth of their eggs dieth.
He that what?
Eateth of their eggs dieth.
He that eateth of their eggs dieth, man. Listen, you trust in this white man saying he's your friend, you're gonna die, man. Or some harm's gonna come your way. Or in the end, you're gonna get the short end of the stick, man. That's what that's saying. Go ahead. Anyone else about it?
And that which is crushed breaketh out into a viper.
That which is crushed breaketh out into a viper, man. And that's this man. He's a viper, man. He kills, man. Go ahead.
The fourth verse is good.
Go ahead.
None calleth for justice.
None calleth for justice. None whatsoever calleth for justice, man. Go ahead.
Nor any pleader for truth.
Or nor any pleader for truth. None calling for justice. No one pleads for truth, man. The only place you can get the truth is here. But in this white man system, he don't do no fair justice, and he don't go by what's true, because he's the devil. He's not supposed to. But even us as a nation, we don't call for justice or plead for truth, man, and then we end up in some bad situations, man. And then what? We sit in jail, then we start to reflect when it's late. Go ahead. Anyone that is that about it?
They trust in vanity.
They what?
They trust in vanity.
They trust in vanity, meaning what you trust in is worthless, man. It's vain. It don't mean nothing. It's vanity. Go ahead.
And speak lies.
And what?
Speak lies.
And speak lies, man. Listen, you see this white man, he speaks lies. Everything Boris Johnson told you has been a lie, man. He's telling you, yeah, we're bringing 20,000 officers so the streets are safe. No, man. That's a lie, man. He ain't bringing them for that reason. He's bringing them so you go to jail, man. They speak lies. Go ahead.
They conceive mischief.
They conceive what?
Mischief.
They conceive mischief, man. That's what all your politicians do. That's what all these white folks do. Conceive mischief, man. They think in their head and in their mind how they can destroy someone, man. How they can bring us down. How they can destroy us. Go ahead.
And bring forth iniquity.
And bring forth iniquity, man, which is what? Sin, transgression. They bring forth all of these things, man. All this evil and this wickedness. Then want to about it. And with that brings us to the end of the class. We're going to do the announcements, the prayers, and then we're out of here.
All right, that's a powerful class. Let's give Officer Dogabar a hand. That's the formal.
It's just the one there.
All right, we are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA, ruled for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months, the brother and sister will get permission from the heads to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3 and 8 to 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ishra, 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of Trumpets on September the 28th.
Right.
All Akim and Aqua, check the bulletin board in the hallway and check all I.S.U.P.K social media, so Facebook, Instagrams, YouTube, everything that we have. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, I'm Mariam. We're going to rise and face the east. And the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malach Taba'ah, Ratzaika, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawo, Hayah, Ba'Shemayim, Nethalanawa, Nakam, Cow, Yawam, Basalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawakinawa, Wala'ah, Habaya'ainawa, Banasayawan, Abod, Hawashainawa, Mayon, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahathapara, La'ai Walamium, Aman.
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread,
Forgive us our debts.
and forgive us our debts,
We forgive our
as
debtors.
we forgive our debtors,
And lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be.
So be. The next prayer, the Hakah, the power, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Shai,
Babu Shah,
Shah,
the Thunder Nawa, Hakah, Hakah, Lara Pa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakah, Lataha, Hamatazarayim, Hakah, Lahakriya, Hamathia, Hakah, Arukawa, Hatam Allah, the Garishad, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Thawada, Aman.
In the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in
Shai,
the name of Yahweh Shai,
please give us the power,
please give us the power
to heal
to
all
heal
manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
power against unclean
the
spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you.
thank you.
So
So be. Next prayer, the blessings. Barakatha Yahweh,
for Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahaya, Mataza Bi'ah, Ala Wap Yahanna, Ha Ala Wapya, Ha Savranya, Ha Kwatazayanya, Ha Kalya Alya, Wa Akwapya, Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Thawada, Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Michael,
and
the angels,
the angels,
commanding general Yahweh,
commanding General Yahanna,
generals,
the generals,
captains,
the captains,
officers,
the officers,
troopers,
the Upas,
and the sisters,
and the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you.
thank you.
So be.
So be.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living,
and all things living,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
listen to us now,
Listen to us now,
right now,
and
some evils,
evils,
curses,
and curses,
and punishment,
and punishment,
destruction
and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us,
that speak against
thy
us,
prophets,
the prophets,
the teachers,
the
the
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the schools,
and the schools,
some evils,
sent evils,
curses,
and curses,
punishment,
and punishments,
and destruction
and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose
and shake
the
loose
treasure
the
of
treasures
the rich of Israel
of the rich of
that
Israel
refused
that
to
refuse
give to the school,
to give to the schools,
force their riches,
force their
to
riches
enter into thy
to
sanctuary,
enter into thy sanctuary,
some evils,
sent evils,
and curses,
and curses,
punishment,
and punishments,
destruction
and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nations,
and the nations,
and the drug dealers,
the drug dealers,
court system,
the court system,
prison system,
the prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology, militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Pascomatazzi,
Pasikomatazi,
gay movement,
the gay movement,
the lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space programs,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet,
open up the internet
and the airways,
and the airways,
cable access channels,
the cable access
and
channels,
the radio channels,
and the radio channels.
convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop
and
us
bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all the
that
heathens
stand in the way,
that stand in the way
and try to stop us
to try to stop
from
us
broadcasting the words
from broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose
Let loose
all the plagues,
all the plagues,
cause them to go
cause them to
to
go
and fro
to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plagues
shake
shake
the house
the
of
house
the thief
of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahweh Shai,
Let Yahweh Shai,
Michael,
Michael,
and Gabriel
and Gabriel
come down
come down
with flying saucers
with the flying
and
saucers
punish all the heathens
and punish all the
that
heathens
come up against us
that come up against
as
us
we speak thy word,
as we speak thy word,
cause it to be known
cause it to be
by
known
all
by all
that is the angels
that is the
that
angels
have done it,
that have done it,
cause it to be spread
cause it to be spread
through the media
through the media
throughout the whole world,
throughout the whole world,
cause them to shake
cause them to shake
at thy coming
at thy coming
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always.
Always. So be. Next prayer to bless Israel, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Shai,
Barakanawa, Bayashala, Wahabaya, Sapaya, Barak Rapah, Magun Hagun, the Gordon family, the George family, the Bennett family, the Gardner family,
all Israel,
all of Israel, Ba'ashem, Yahavushai, Thawana, Aman. And what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahavushai, bless us and Israel and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect those odd ones. In the name of Yahavushai, thank you, so be it. So with that, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I'm Madiam Shabbat. I'm Madiam Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahavushai Barak Athar.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahavushai Barak Athar.
Yad Yamatam, class dismissed.